Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Genius Knowledge Point, your go-to place for practical programming solutions for diploma computer and IT students. If you are stuck on any practical assignment or just want to learn how to solve programs step by step, then you are in the right place. The main purpose of making this video is to provide practical knowledge to all diploma students so that they can develop their own programs which will be helpful for their future. In this video, we are going to perform practical number 17 for object-oriented programming, that is under Diploma Computer and IT, third semester, and case scheme, which is the latest scheme of MSBTE. So this practical is regarding pointer to the derived class in single inheritance, pointer to derived class in multi-level inheritance. So we are going to use inheritance concept as well as pointer concept here. So let's move to the first question. As the exercise questions are regarding code performance only, so there is no practical performance question there. We don't have to generate code for that exercise. So that questions will be solved by you only. You will be typing the entire code into compiler and running that code and writing the output. So the generation of code is not necessary there. So I am just providing the performance of practical related questions in this practical. So the first question is, write a C++ program to declare class polygon having data members width and height, derive class rectangle and triangle from polygon having area as a member function, calculate the area of triangle and rectangle using pointer to derived class object. So we have to design or define a class polygon first. That will be our base class. Then from that polygon we will be creating two classes, rectangle and triangle, and those classes are having area as a function. So we have to calculate the area for triangle and rectangle here inside the derived classes. So and again we are going to use pointer here. So writing the code there. So the code will be, initially I am including both the header files. Then first we have to create the parent class, that is polygon. Inside public section I am taking height and width as given in the question. Then I am defining a method void accept to accept this height value and width value by entering respective messages and accepting using cin. So the accept method is complete here, and also the parent class polygon is completed here. Now the next I am creating rectangle class using inheritance. So class rectangle colon public polygon. So how to use inheritance, that we have seen already in the previous practicals. So if you want to watch, you can go to previous videos and watch there. So this is how the inheritance is done. Polygon properties will be inherited into rectangle. And what is polygon properties? Polygon is having height and width as a member variable and accept as a member function. So both the values will be inherited here. Next I am creating public section, inside that defining a method as given in the question, that is void area. Then inside it I am calculating the area value using formula, that is height into width, and storing that value into a local variable, that is int a. So a will be representing area value after this calculation. Now displaying the area value as area of rectangle is and attaching a value here. So this is how the area will be calculated and displayed here. So the area function is closed. Now the class is also closed. Now again creating one more class, that is class triangle colon public polygon. Again inheritance is used here. All the properties of polygon will be inside triangle, and again as given in the question we have to define method area inside triangle also. So void area, again calculating the area value, that is int a is equal to height into width divided by 2. So the calculation will be done here and the value will be stored into a. Next I am displaying the area of triangle as a message and attaching a value. So if you want, you can take it as a float because division is there. So I am taking float value, and you can use implicit typecasting as a 2.0. So what will happen? The numerator divided by float denominator will become float value. and the float value will be stored into A. So this is how the area of triangle is calculated, and the function is closed and class is also closed here. Now moving toward the main function, first clearing the output screen. So as we have to use the pointer to the derived class, so for that purpose we have to create pointer of the base class, because base class pointer can point to the derived class only. So for that purpose I am first creating polygon P. This is the object of polygon class, which is our base class, then comma star PTR. So this is the pointer of the base class. Then after that creating one object of rectangle class and one object of triangle class as a rectangle R and triangle T. So both the objects are representing rectangle and triangle classes. Then after that the pointer of the base class is pointing to the rectangle class object first. So that is PTR is equal to ampersand R. So what it will do, the pointer of the base class is now pointed to the derived class rectangle. So this is how the rectangle object can be accessed using pointer. So first I am entering a message to enter the height and width of the rectangle. Then using the arrow operator I am calling accept method, which is inside the base class. So PTR arrow accept. So why I am calling PTR arrow accept? Because it is inside the base class and pointer is also having the base class. So whenever the pointer is of base class, it can call the base class methods only. It cannot call the derived class methods. So that's why we can use the PTR arrow accept here. But after that, to calculate the area, I cannot use PTR arrow area. Why I cannot use that? Because area is inside the rectangle class, and which is not a base class. The pointer is of base class. So that's why the pointer can point to accept method, height, width variables only. It cannot point directly, or it cannot access directly area method, which is inside the rectangle class. So that's why to call the area method of rectangle, we have to use the rectangle object, that is R object. So R dot area is calling the area method for rectangle, and PTR arrow accept is calling the accept method for rectangle object, because our pointer is pointing to rectangle first. So this is how the accept method is run for R object using pointer, and area method is run for R object using dot operator. So the area is calculated here and that will be displayed. Now I am pointing that pointer again to the triangle object. So PTR is equal to ampersand T. So now pointer is pointing to the triangle object. So I can use the accept method for triangle using PTR arrow accept. So this is how I am calling the accept method for triangle object, that is PTR arrow accept, because my pointer is now pointing to T. But to calculate the area, I cannot use PTR arrow area, because area is inside triangle class and pointer is having polygon data type. So polygon cannot point or cannot access the area of triangle class, because it is a base class. It is not having area method. So that's why to call the area method, I have to use triangle object only using dot operator. So T dot area will run this area method. It will calculate the area of triangle and display the area. So now both the areas are displayed. So finally getCH is there to hold the output screen, and main function is ended here. Also program is ended. So selecting the entire code, copying the code, going to compiler and pasting the code there and running the code. So first it is asking me to enter height and width of the rectangle. So first it is asking to enter height. So I am taking 50, then width as a 30. So the area of the rectangle is 1500, which is calculated using area function of R object. Now it is asking me to enter width for height and width for triangle. So I am entering height as a 40 and width as a 60. So it has calculated the area of triangle as 1200 using the area function, which is inside triangle class, and we have called both the area functions using their respective objects, and we have called both the accept functions using pointer of the base class. So this is how you can create a pointer of base class, point it to any derived class object and run the methods which are inside base class for those objects. So this is how this question is completed. Now the second question is write a program to show the use of pointer to derived class in multi-level inheritance. So we have to use multi-level inheritance and we have to use a pointer also. So the class names are not given here, we have to assume our class names, we have to create our multi-level inheritance structure and we have to use properly using the pointer and show the output. So directly moving to the coding part. Initially both the header files are included. And first I am creating a base class, that is class base. Inside public section I am creating a simple method, that is virtual void show. So inside it I am just printing a simple message, base class show function called. So why I am taking virtual void show? Because this is a statement of virtual function. We are going to override this show function inside our derived classes, and whenever we are overriding it, we will be running the derived classes function definition. That's why this function is created as virtual void show. This statement indicates that this function should be overridden into derived class. It should be redefined into derived classes. So that's why the virtual function is taken here. So the function is closed here and base class is also closed here. Next I am creating a second class, that is class derived 1 public base. So what it will do, it will inherit the base class properties into derived 1 class. So inside it again I am creating a public section and again redefining the show method. So why I am redefining? Because it is declared as a virtual function inside a base class. So while redefining I am writing a message as derived 1 class show function called. So this is the show function of derived 1 class. So this function is ended here and class is also completed. Next I am creating one more class, that is class derived 2 public derived 1. So this will create a multiple inheritance because base class is our parent class. This is derived by derived 1 class. Again this derived 1 class is inherited by derived 2 class. So it will create a multi-level inheritance. So as given in the question, we are following the multi-level inheritance concept. Next, inside the public section again I am creating a show method. So this show method is displaying derived 2 class show function called. So in every class I have called their respective show function method. So the show function is closed here and derived 2 class is also ended here. Now moving toward the main function, int main. Inside it I am creating a pointer of base class. So base star ptr, it will create a pointer of base class. Then I am creating two objects, that is first object is derived 1 class object and second object is derived 2 class object. So obj1 is derived 1 class object, obj2 is derived 2 class object. Now I am pointing this pointer to obj1 object, that is object of derived 1 class. So what will happen? ptr is equal to ampersand obj1. So it is now pointing to the object 1 which is of derived 1 class, and now I am calling ptr arrow show method. So what it will do, it will run the show method which is inside obj1. So it will run this statement. Now I am pointing that pointer to the second object which is of derived 2 class. So ptr is equal to ampersand obj2. So this obj2 is of derived 2 class object. So again I am calling the show method. So what it will do, it will run the show method for obj2 class. So obj2 object is of having derived 2 class. So it will run this statement, derived 2 class show function called. So this is how we have used the base class pointer. We have pointed that base class pointer to respective objects, that is derived 1 class object and second time derived 2 class object, and then we have run their respective show methods, and according to their show methods the respective messages will be displayed. So this is how the program the coding is ended. So finally getch is there to hold the output screen, and as main is having integer return type, returning 0. So The main function ended, also the program is ended. Copying the entire code, going to compiler, pasting the code and running the code. If you see, both the show methods are run here, and first show method is displaying derived 1 class show function called, and second method is displaying derived 2 class show function is called. So this is how both the show functions are called according to their respective objects, and we have used a base class pointer and we have pointed that pointer to their objects respectively, and their show functions are called properly. So this is how the second question is completed. Also the practical number 17 is also completed, which was regarding derived class in single inheritance as well as pointer to derived class in multi-level inheritance. So that's it for today's practical. I hope this helped you understand the solution clearly. Code for this practical is available at the link given in the description. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such diploma level programming solutions. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. And hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching and happy coding.